Hello everyone, and welcome to our Return to Moria Survival Guide. We are making Mithril Ingots today, and we're going to be covering how to get Mithril ore, especially in large quantities, and, you know, the ingot itself. So to unlock Mithril Ingots, the ability to smith them, you're going to need to first repair the Great Mithril Forge, which is right here. Has a bunch of parts lying about, you just got to replace them, and I do have a video on how to do that process if you haven't done it yet, what you can expect. Basically, once the forge is repaired, the recipe for the Mithril Ingot will drop. And at that point, you're basically ready to start smelting it, which will be in your Coolsteel Forge. The problem is that you need about 6 ore per ingot, and this initial area here has some like little bits of ore left over, but you're only really going to get like 5 ore. At the end of the day. You definitely need a new mine. So where do you find that? So much like the rest of the game, the actual the Mithril mine shaft is random on where it spawns. Oh my, we have a bear coming. That's not, we have 2 bears. Oh no. You're gonna have to do a little bit of searching, and this one is particularly a little complex. I know on my other save file it took me forever to find this area, and the area you need to find is this right here. Now, if you've done any kind of exploring in the lower deeps, you might have come across areas that look like this, where you have like this kind of chasm, which takes you down to the darker deeps. So this is very much the same kind of thing, except you're going to find it within the region of Branzabar. And mine was here, but this could be anywhere. And keep in mind that this does not show the different levels, because this is actually way lower than what it looks like. There's technically like 2 or 3 levels above me. If you want to see, if you can kind of see in the top left there, I'm at about 285 fathoms. That's about where you need to get like the 280-ish area, and that is when the chances of you finding this particular chasm increases. So you really just have to kind of keep searching through the purple area. It's not going to be in the red area. This is something very different. You got to keep searching like this part of the map, and you might have to go up sometimes in order to get to a higher level, which will then take you to a lower level. It can be very, very complicated. So my best advice really is to just kind of do your best to keep track of where you're going. Maybe use like lights to kind of guide, like, hey, I've been through this way, it wasn't this way. Or make like little mentions on your map, like do like a custom marker, for example, and be like, don't go this way, already explored, to kind of cut that out, because like there's a lot of different, depending on obviously how your tunnels are generated, you could have quite a few that lead you to dead ends basically before you eventually come to this location. Now, I will say, as another kind of like hint, is that like you might think that, oh, this particular cavern, it's gonna spawn like after where the Great Mithril Forge is, and that actually was not the case for my other save file. It actually technically spawned before I reached the Great Forge, so keep that in mind, that you might have to actually backtrack earlier than you thought. So like this is the Great Mithril Forge right here, for example, and this is like the path from Durin's Highway, the crossroads to get to that forge. Mine and my other save file was like here somewhere, you know, like somewhere between the Durin's Highway and the Great Mithril Forge. Now, obviously, that's not the case for this particular save file. In this save file, it's between it showed up for me between the Great Mithril Forge and, like, you know, basically after it, basically. So that's kind of like a way to kind of, I guess, try and help you guys find it. Like, I know this one is really complicated, and the map doesn't really help because it doesn't show like the different levels. You kind of just have to rely on the top left there, letting you know how deep you are. But it does start to show up. Like, if you can find some sort of like big hole in the ground that leads you down to 280, there's a good chance that eventually you will find this particular room. It doesn't always happen. I have run into a few dead ends on the 280 level too, but there is a very good chance that that's going to be where you need to go. So once you find it, basically there's going to be a fell beast in here. You're going to have to kill that. I would definitely recommend being able to make like a stone hearth and having a map stone, because you trust me, like having to re-find that place is not going to be fun. So definitely bring that with you so that when you do find it, you're ready to go. Now, once you have done that, I would definitely recommend either having a bunch of wood on you or some natural fiber, because you're gonna want to make these some sort of way to get down, basically. And if you have not explored the depths here before, the deepest darks, whatever they're called, there's a few things to know. One is that light does not come down here, and even with your torch out, you're still gonna be getting it's still going to go down. Like, it's not enough. There's not enough light generated, basically, to keep you from being not in darkness. Which means the biggest kind of threat down here, besides the baby Balrogs, because those exist here too, is the despair that you could potentially have. And there's two ways that you can go about that. You can make some Dawnbreak Pale Ale, which will keep you from being in despair. Or you can also have Mirivore, which I have a video on if you have not made that yet and you don't have it unlocked, because Mirivore regenerates your health faster than Despair, so it'll keep basically like boosting up your health even though you're technically taking damage. But here we are in the Mithril Mine Shaft. So there's a bunch of Mithril down here. It's literally all Mithril. It's a great way to just get your hands on a ton of it. Like I hit like a few of these veins, and I think I ended up with like 60 some, and that was just like hitting a few, you know what I mean? So definitely a great way to get your Mithril. We'll sing this little song now.
Through ancient halls, where rooted veins of Mithril true, like banners hung will line the walls. Below the mountains 3 and tall, lie pillared halls that stand apart. I've never beheld my hazard doom, but know the road I'll take by heart.
I love that little at the end. Anyway, so this is where you go to get your Mithril in large quantities. Now, the only other danger down here, there's a few poisonous spiders, but it's really the baby Balrogs, or whatever they are, that you have to watch out for. There's like these flaming creatures, basically. They hit hard. They are not nice. I tend to like hide, I'll be honest. I just avoid them. You can certainly have your hand, try your hand at fighting them if you so wish. Just make sure you do have that map stone ready in case the fight doesn't go well for you. But I am going to go and get some Mithril here. I'm going to quick pause, and we will fast forward to smelting this and getting our Mithril Ingots. Alright, we have returned now, so we're going to go into our furnace and craft our Mithril Ingot. And again, we got this recipe by repairing the Great Forge, the Great Mithril Forge specifically. So we're going to go ahead and just craft all that we need to craft here. I'll probably go back down there to get some more, but there were some spooky Balrog babies around, so I had to run away. But basically, we're going to just kind of, again, wait for this to finish off, so we'll just kind of hang out until then. Alright, our first ingot is now ready, so we'll go ahead and pick it up, and there we go. We don't get any new recipes from this, but we do get the Mithril Ingot palette unlocked. So now that we have Mithril Ingots, we can go ahead and make some more advanced weapons. But that is it. Hopefully you found that helpful. I know finding that mine can be very, very difficult. Just keep at it, keep exploring. The whole goal is to just get as low and as deep as you can. But thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep surviving and keep thriving.